People make mistakes. I went to Trump University.
Hey, it's fine,
And that's
dude.
it.
That's what led you to here. Your mistake led you to here. That's
Yeah,
right.
it
Honestly,
really
you
did pay
did.
off.
You wouldn't be here unless you had gone to Trump University. You had the perfect story. I could like you were the bait that I couldn't resist. It's like, dude,
You can't say no.
Trump?
And
I love
you
it.
hate politics. And it's like,
No, but I do hate politics, but I
choice?
love when politics intersects with scams, and I like love
Yeah.
talking about it. I think it's so funny. I just hate the. Hold on, sorry guys. Let's get some music on. Let's just chill
let's
together.
get some jazz. Let's
please.
get some of that drip jazz music, dude.
Yeah, let's get some drip
because
jazz.
because I do like your interest in politics. It's not like you don't want to get into the bitter stuff. You don't want to get into the stuff that's unproductive, but there are con artists in the public eye. And when that happens, we talk about it. And that's it.
Well, the funny thing is most of them are con artists, and so it's like, oh, there it is, there it is. Thank you. The soundboard's finally
It's
working.
good music, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah. So no, I mean, I like talking about politics when we can get past the tribalism, when we can get back to the good old basics of Americans just generally hate government. That's what we were founded on. And whether you want a big government or a little government, we all have one thing in common: we all hate it together. We all think our politicians are incompetent because they are. And we all just get along knowing that. But nowadays, people think it's kind of like Canada. People get a little too big for their britches in their own political game. They think, oh, the Republicans are the good guys. That's the trick that politicians have done to people. It's hey, you're on the good guys' side. Those are the evil people. And if you're on this side, now you're the good guys all of a sudden. It's like, dude.
Yeah. And it's a lot of the social justice stuff. Like a lot of social justice stuff is just becoming a badge you can wear and say, hey, I went to the gay pride, so shut up. Don't worry. Oh, I gave $300,000 to my mom. Hey, I went to the Indian pride. I dressed up like a Punjabi man and I went to India. Okay?
Yeah.
Don't talk shit about Prime Minister Trudeau. I mean, that's basically what he's surviving on. Nobody's ever had this many ethics violations. He's at 3.
I hate when people, because they're politically aligned with the person, they refuse to talk about their failures. Hey, we need to be able to talk about people's failures. When all the conservatives defended Trump, all these Bible thumpers, dude, all these guys who just thump their Bibles, they're defending Trump for his sexual assault, all these things that he's been accused of. And they're going, oh, no, we don't really care anymore. All of a sudden, we don't care. We cared when Bill Clinton did it, but we don't care now. Hypocrites. Wow. And now the Democrats are doing it with Tara Reid. Joe Biden gets accused. All these people who are me too. Hey, where are you now? You're saying,
shut it.
Well, we'll care after November.
Get in line. They'll never care.
Cowards.
They'll never care about Tara
Cowards. If you do that,
Cowards.
you're a coward.
Coward. And dude, Kamala Harris, like, look, I know it's my friends, everyone's saying the same thing. Just, hey, get in line. Because Biden's whole campaign is, hey, at least it's not Trump. At least it's not Trump. That's all he has. And even they've done opinion polls and people are like, do you care about Biden's anything? Or do you just care that he's not Trump? And people have polled like that. Like, no, we're voting for him because he's not Trump. That's it. That's where the popularity is coming from. But what people don't realize that Kamala Harris, they're hiding behind the social justice, but they have been brutal for like just putting black people in jail for having weed on them. All the terrible stuff, man. Kamala Harris is like a tough, like she's a cop. So this idea that she's liberal, like what are we talking about? We're just pretending.
It's a pretend.
Dude.
So somebody said, who do you think is going to win, Trump or Biden? I don't know. I'm not really, obviously you guys know that I'm kind of an idiot when it comes to politics. I don't pay much attention because it just makes me sad. But I don't know. I mean, what do you think, Amish?
Great question.
In the chat, what do you guys think, Trump or Biden?
It's very interesting.
This has nothing to do, by the way, with your preference. It has everything to do with what do you think is going to happen.
Just who do you think is going to win? Yeah, no, I think Trump has great chances still. I mean, so Hillary Clinton was ahead of him in the polls by like 90%, and Biden's ahead of him by 10%. Like the best Biden gets is 10%. Now, I think a lot of them are claiming that they've corrected their polling issues since Hillary. I hope so. I don't know, but it does seem like a little bit of like pretend that he's just. And I don't appreciate the pretend that you like Biden. People are mad that you're not on board, like with your heart. Like people are getting mad for like Why are you bringing up the Tara Reid business? It's
Yeah.
like, hey, it happened, so just bring it up.
And actually investigate it. And like you could still say that you're going to vote for Biden. It doesn't because obviously Trump's done the same kind of stuff, but
Yeah.
at least call it out. Quit pretending. Quit the pretending. People, look, the people who can justify the worst things are people who say, hey, but the ends justified the means. Hey, we're not going to investigate because the ends are going to justify the means. Dude, you can justify every heinous action in history with that. And I would argue it was justified with that at the time. It's, well, the ends justify the means. If you live your life like that, you're potentially could do some horrible things.
Well, I think America is suffering with that now too. Like it does hit a tipping point. Are you seeing me okay? It looks like I'm like freezing.
You're
up
totally glitching out, dude. You're
oh my God,
totally
I'm so
glitching
sorry.
out.
I'm gonna call Rogers this week. By the way, talk about scams. 2 companies own all the internet in Canada. It's ridiculous.
What?
Yeah, like you can't get internet. You can only get it. It's like a monopoly. These 2 companies own all the internet. Canada's like all these monopoly businesses. It is a bit of a nightmare in like too much government-owned shit. Actually,
Yeah.
I do forget about that.
Yeah.
Dude, like 2 companies own all the internet, and then
know.
they're messing with people. Am I glitching out? But like I used to work at a film distribution company, and they were saying that basically for Netflix, the reason why it was shitty in Canada because Rogers and Bell would sue, like basically tell Netflix like you're not allowed to play that in Canada because we have it, and basically fought with them to make it shitty. Whoa, that much Trump?
Really? Wow. That's surprising, honestly.
That's shocking.
It's only 13. It's
so.
a tiny I mean, this is such a tiny sample size, and our audience is probably not representative, but it's interesting. Look, I think if Trump wins, it's going to basically come from, by the way, Canada sucks. I agree. But
Hey, who said
I'm
that?
just kidding. Canada, I'm fine with Canada now that you call out Trudeau. As long as you call out Trudeau, it's just funny to me.
You gotta
like,
call out Trudeau.
You just got to call out just corruption in general. So I want to show you one thing, though, because I've been totally thinking that Trump's going to lose really bad. Just the polling and, I think people are sick enough of Trump. Trump's had this, like, magic to him where he's just been able to avoid the polls, but I think it's, like, finally catching up with him. But he tweeted something that made me think he has a chance. And it's not because it's right. It's because it's a meme. And the guy is a master memer. You can say a lot of things about him. But the dude puts out hilarious memes. When I saw this, I laughed. And
best comic in America. A lot of people are calling him best comic in
America.
America.
So good. He's
doing the best jokes.
Look at this. Have you seen this, Amish? Have you seen this?
Oh my God, show me. I can't wait for
this.
Dude,
I've got
nonsense.
My gosh. It's honestly so good. It's so good. Hang on.
Oh my God. What is this nonsense?
Hang on.
It looks like so cheap, the graphics.
Yeah, dude, it's so good. 12 million views on this one video. It's so funny. Just because it's a funny meme. Hang on. Sorry, guys.
And this is made by him?
No. By someone else.
Blonde in the sun. I used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
A lot of issues. They got a lot of issues in a little meme. That's so tight.
Is
good writing.
So good. Look, Biden couldn't tweet that in a million. He never would. He's got too much of he's trying to go for the presidential thing. But Trump just memes, and it's funny. I mean, look, I never thought we'd have a funny president. He's funny. He's entertaining. He just is.
He rips and he dips, dude.
You can disagree. It's okay. You can disagree, but the dude is hilarious.
He rips and dips, and what it's hilarious, but in a way that's damaging to America. Like, I mean, it's like hilarious that like I'm in charge and I'm just gonna go shoot this crowd or like do something wild. He doesn't care. Biden's professionalism, he's hiding. He's calling it professionalism, but really, what is it? He doesn't want to come out and speak. He doesn't want to say what his opinion is.
Well, I don't think he
his
can
whole campaign
say what his
strategy is
opinion is
shut
because
up.
I don't think he remembers what his opinion is.
He doesn't remember his campaign. I would love to be a speechwriter because his speechwriter just says, "Hey, shut up." Every time you say something, you sound like an idiot.
Dude,
so
he's
just shut up.
got the silent campaign. I mean, basically, if you're voting for Biden, you're voting for Kamala, and you're just voting for not Trump, is what you're doing. And I understand.
That's all it is.
I understand the people who want to do that. I don't think you're wrong
Right.
for wanting to do that. It's you're principled on you just are never Trumper, and that's a position to take. I think a lot of people are taking it. The question is, though, can the memes bring out enough people, and can they make Biden hated, or not even hated, but like a joke enough? Because that meme paints Biden in a horrible light, and comedy's so subversive that like when you get that in your head, you're like, he kind of is an idiot. Oh, he kind of is stupid. Oh, he kind of. And when you see the mashups, and when you see all that stuff, it's like, dude, it gets in your head, and you're like, oh, well, maybe Trump's not so bad. Like, right? Like. So
that's how he won last time.
He's a master of that. It's how he won last time.
He's a master of that. And he
totally
gets one person at a time. He does a meme-ish like diss on them. Like each one on the Republican side. I saw this Charisma on Command video, incredible video. And he basically talks about how Trump beat each one at a time, made an insult that was personally insulting, that would make their fans say, I don't know if I like this person anymore. And just got one at a time. Biden, he doesn't even have to do the heavy lifting on this. It's all kind of getting done for him. Kamala, it's surprising that they're painting her as such a liberal. They should just say, hey, Kamala she's a Republican. What's the issue here? I mean, she's a cop. I don't know if you've seen this documentary, but there's a documentary about Meek Mill, okay? And I'm just trying to make a point about Kamala Harris. And I'm not saying don't vote for her, but like this is just like what the personality I'm seeing with her. So there's a documentary about Meek Mill. And basically a black female judge catches him doing something when he's like 11 years old or something. And it's pretty bad, I guess. Like, it's a bunch of cops beat the shit out of him. He had a gun on him though. So they charged him for that. And now for 11 years, he hasn't been able to get out of the system. And this judge, every time they talk to her, she just goes, hey, you should be of influence. You should be a positive influence for the black community. So I'm just going to say that we're going to give you another 2-year probation. Like at one point, Meek Mill was flying somewhere and there's a hurricane there. So he flew to another state and then flew back home, and flying to the other state violated his parole violation. But it's clear on the ticket. It's clear that there was a hurricane that day.
What does this have to do with Kamala though?
What it has to do with Kamala is that there is a culture of these tough law and order judges who sell themselves as like, I care about the black community. But what that means is I put black people in jail.
Yeah,
it's
dude,
literally the opposite.